Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast. You're not going to believe this, episode 182, Starfield. With me, George, and this week joined by RGT and Bobby, gallant space captains to my couldn't even captain a rubber ducky in the bath. How's it going, man?
Very well,
Good.
thank you.
Good.
Awesome to hear. Let's not mess around today. Let's get, because I always vicariously very intrigued about what you guys have been up to, gaming-wise. So let's start with the handsome cherub up in the clouds. Bobby, what have you been playing?
Again, strictly Diablo 4 with my stepdad.
No.
And,
Am I going to have to ban
Marlo.
this? Am I going to have to ban this?
It's getting there.
How many hours now, Bobby?
364.
That's crazy.
And we attempted to beat Lilith. We got her health bar down maybe like a third. Felt pretty confident. And then she just backslapped all of us at the same time. And we literally all died at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Clearly, we're not.
One hit?
Yeah, we're not even close to. Technically speaking, to me, we happen to beat Lilith, this will definitely be the hardest platinum I've ever done.
Wow.
It's sickening how difficult she is.
She's grinding you down there.
No, she really is. It's like we want to keep going because we want to beat her for the satisfaction, but then you don't want to go and keep attempting it because then it's like it just brings your morale down so hard.
I've had some similar morale busting experiences gaming recently, and
like when I first played God of War 2, and I was trying to beat Zeus. I mean, my morale was going down, and my controller was like on the verge of being shattered. But I did it, But like, you kept trying. You felt like you were getting better. We kept trying with Lilith. We're not getting any better. We're not at all.
What's the answer to this? More loot, more higher gear, more
Yeah, we
stats?
need better gear, and I think I'm going to change my rogue to a poison rogue. I feel like that's the secret, so I'm working on it.
It's a bit of trial and error, I suppose, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And then, of course, you go on YouTube and you see somebody like, level 80 kill her. And we're over here like level 100 with some pretty good gear getting smacked. So I don't understand the YouTubers. I don't get them. I don't get it.
Editing.
Pro gamers.
Okay. Definitely professional gamers for sure.
With that that tragic event put to one side, is there anything else you want to share with us?
No.
You've not even played Snake on your mobile?
No, nothing. Nothing. I did go to the store and I pre-ordered EA Sports 24.
Mm-hmm.
I got the $89 version because I wanted to play it a week earlier. And I'm hoping I will play it a week earlier. It depends how Diablo goes.
Wow. Stunning.
Revelation.
Revelation.
I got a bunch of stuff from the store. Actually, there's a sale. And a lot of my wish items were on sale.
Oh, what have you got?
There was always a cheaper way of playing it early,
I bought, well, you know what? Let me look at my PlayStation app and see if I can tell you guys what I bought.
Okay. We'll come back to you when you tell us your pickups. RGT?
Yes.
Let us know the cheaper way of playing it, first of all. What's the cheapest way of playing EA Sports FC?
Normally you can play it earlier for the first 10 hours if you download EA Play, $3.99 for the month. Play it early until the release come out, then cancel your EA Play subscription, then you just carry on your game.
It's people like you that are killing massive multinational companies like that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Come back.
I love it.
Some executive's not going to get his bobo because of you. RGT, tell me everything about everything apart from Starfield, because we're going to discuss that after the news.
Yep.
Tell me what else you've been playing.
Right.
Is it on Switch?
Make yourself a coffee, feel relaxed.
Is it on Switch?
Just you wait. I'll go through my list, and if there is on Switch, you may intervene. Okay? Right.
Very good.
First of all, had a bit of a shed night with Board Border from the Discord. So we played two random games. We started off with Athletic Kings on Sega Saturn.
That's good, that is.
Which is hilarious. And then we started posting a few of our scores on there, which Board Board had never played it before, and then broke the world record for the sprint on his first go, which had beat Rose Space Monk's record of about 10 years. So then he was back on it trying to beat the record back. So that was brilliant fun. But yeah, we had great time playing that. That was brilliant.
I wonder where he got his finger skills.
I know he's been an absolute legend with the digits in the past. So he's been good. So we'll go on to GTA 3. We started playing through that on the new trilogy version on the PS4.
What? Okay, yeah.
Reason is because going way back, we were roommates years ago, and we played through Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas together. We always did back in the day, and we always said if they bring a remasters out, we'll play back through them, and that's what we're doing. And I absolutely loved playing through this, or starting to play through this again with him. So we're going to do one night a week.
You're not jumping up and down saying the performance isn't good enough, the graphics don't look very good. You're not giving it any of that. Latest patch installed. How is it faring up?
I know people wanted a high-res ray tracing, all the bells and whistles remaster, but it wouldn't have been the same for me. I do like what they've done. I like the PS2 style graphics with the high-res over the top. That's fine. That's nice. And it takes you back. The nostalgia vibe from that is phenomenal. And we're having great fun playing that. That was brilliant. And we could have played all night if we could have done. But just getting a bit old now, so you get a bit tired after about 9 o'clock. But so we loved that, playing that. And then I also had a dip back into my Switch. So I played some more Brotato. Still keep dipping into that. And I played a little game, really cheap little game called Miniature, which is on the Switch for, I think, 89 pence. But the reason I downloaded it, I like the graphic style of it, and it is literally little dioramas, and you get 5 images from that diorama, and you have to put them in the right order to tell the story of that diorama. And that's a lovely little game. So I played
is
that.
It?
Yes, it is a lovely little game. It is a lovely little game. I enjoyed that. I played it. You can complete it in an hour and a half. It's very short, but it's 89p. That's nice little graphics. It's nice little way to spend some time. Played some more SnowRunner.
On Switch?
No. So you're not interested anymore. I also started playing Sea of Stars.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a turn-based gamer at all, but I just love the style of this game. I thought I'd give it a go. I've put about 4 or 5 hours in.
I need to get to that. I've downloaded it on PS5 because it's in the free game section.
Yeah, I'm dying a lot because I'm struggling with the combat because I'm not that up to speed with turn-based games. But the actual story, the graphics are phenomenal. And I'm a retro gamer and I love my pixel art.
With that section, I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but there's some sections where you're climbing and it's in like isometric. And I thought, imagine if something like Uncharted or Tomb Raider had come out 16-bit and it was like this.
Oh, it'd be phenomenal.
It would be phenomenal.
Yeah. And this is a gorgeous game and it's a nice story. It's very well made, very well put together, released in prime condition. I really like it. It is good. And normally turn-based is not me. I wouldn't even consider playing a turn-based game, but this is that good that I want to try and master the combat because I keep dying a lot, but it is good. And you do feel, even to the stage, it was, without spoiling any story, there was one bit early on where one of the character gets hurt when they're young and they start crying. And that is quite emotional when you see it. The graphics are that good. You actually feel for the lad. Do you know what I mean? It's really well done.
Wow. I've heard lots of story about the narrative and how well it's been put together. So I'm quite looking forward to getting stuck into that.
Yeah, I think you'd love that.
The way it's going at the moment, I probably need to just pony up and buy the Switch version.
That's funny, that, isn't it? Yeah. So that's no good getting.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't bother getting your PS5 out of the loft, George, because that's staying there now.
Dude, I just want a game all the time. And unless I've got a Jenny and LCD on one of those sort of headbands fashioned out of coat hangers, and a Jenny in a little American Red Rocket trailer with a red flag on it, walking around with it attached to some sort of bum bag containing all the power inverters. sort of hanging over my crotch and infecting them with some sort of strange radiation. The Switch is my only option right now.
Well, you know the way to answer that. You know, you're from Lincolnshire, Colin Furs. He'll knock you up something like that easy. He's done gaming rigs. There you go. He's just up the road from you.
I'm going to be walking around like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, but LCD screen hanging off your head.
No, some erased goggles.
Yes, I also had a little go on Lonely Mountains Downhill.
Oh, yes.
I had a little go on that. That's one of the little games while I was installing other games. I was playing it in the background. That's quite good fun.
Yeah, I think I've got that. I think I've quite enjoyed it, to be fair.
Yeah,
is that the
that's
isometric one? Or is it
Oh,
the...
yes, that's isometric, sort of blocky, sort of pixel art style, polygon sort of, if you know what I mean. And you have to keep beating your scores on your downhill tracks, and basic but good fun, addictive. I also had a go on, I downloaded, had a go on, because that was on this month's games, the newest Saints Row, which I know had bombed, but I thought, well, I'll give it a go. And I've played first
It's
couple
free,
of
right?
hours. Yes, yeah, this month. I played the first couple of hours. Actually, all right. I've quite enjoyed it. It's a bit silly, and but the shooting and the mechanics of it seem quite good. Quite enjoy it so far. I don't know.
How does it jive, say, with your GTA 3 remastered experience?
Oh, it's not on the same planet. It's nowhere near. But because that's nostalgia for me, GTA 3 is one of the daddies for me. So it's not going to be. It's an open world, silly sort of shooter game, I suppose, with a bit of a story to it. Like I say, I haven't got into the story that much so far. Sort of the tutorial that I've played and design your character.
I remember, if I may have a little aside here, I remember when I got Saints Row for the original Xbox. I think it was an exclusive back in the day.
That was, yeah.
And, you know, I was wanting like a GTA experience, and I got it, and it was just so silly, and it felt so bare bones as well. Even had loads of stuff in it. It felt a bit hollow, even then.
It was a real blatant clone.
Yeah, but not even very good in terms of its
Saints Row 2 was good. Saints Row 2 was good, but I fell off, and once they started going it down that silly route of get out of hell and all that lot.
Saints Row 3 was, I guess, fun, but it was stupid.
Yeah, it all got a bit silly after that, didn't it? And I sort of fell away from them. But yeah, I've quite enjoyed this so far, really. How much I'll play of it, I don't know, but I think I will dip back in. Then there was obviously the aforementioned game, which we'll talk about in a little while as part of the show.
Yeah.
But then last night, me and Bull Border said we'd play online together, which we haven't done for ages. So we downloaded that Generation Zero, which is also free this month.
Ooh, cheeky.
And I tell you what, that's really, really good fun.
It strikes me. Is it the one with the mechs in like a post-apocalyptic? It strikes me almost of having SnowRunner visuals, and that's a compliment.
Yeah, you're not far off. That is very similar. Yeah, you're not far off. I mean, it's one of them where you literally start on a jetty and they just say, right, where you go. All right, what do we do? So you start finding bits, and you start, finding material, and then you find a baseball bat, and then you find a gun, and you have to keep working your way across the map. It seems quite a big map. Then you meet someone, she sends you out on missions, and you've got to work out how to destroy these mechs and get to this house in this sort of apocalyptic world.
Complaints in gaming circles, it's a bit empty, a bit lacking in soul. Would you vibe with that, or do you not experiencing that?
If you played single player, I can see that, because you just move. You move to this area, clear the mechs out, however you wanted to do that. Pick up all the bits and pieces you can, get the next mission, move on to the bit. So if you're on your own, I can imagine. With two of you, it's good. Like last night, I managed to find a rifle. Then I found a sight, so I put it on the rifle. So then Bull Border would move in closer with his binoculars and say, right, there's one to the left of the farmhouse. I'd get him up in the sight, pop him off. Right, you took him. Right, I'm going to go in. I'll do a decoy. I'll run past you. You hit him with the bat. Then he'd come past. Then it was me. Dunk, done him with a baseball
Bobby
bat.
just sat straight up in his chair. He's getting sniper vibes. Bobby, this talk of...
I just downloaded it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's graphically, it's not, it's a PS4 game. Its graphics aren't that good, but it seemed to run okay. And I'll tell you another thing as well. It was first person. I played first person game and I weren't sick.
Well done.
Yeah, and at the start, it is your aiming does feel a bit abrupt. You are left, right, really quick, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'll be all right with this," but we sort of managed to tone it down a bit, and we played, and I was fine. And I actually really had good fun with that. So I'd definitely recommend that for a free game as well.
Brilliant.
It was, really good fun. And there was one more game I played, and I platinumed, but that will be my hidden gem this week because I loved it so much. So I will talk about that in a minute.
Right. Well, before we get into that,
Sorry, I went on a bit long there. But...
No, you're okay. It was all good, chunky stuff. Bobby, you were going to regale us with the games that you picked up.
Yeah. So I got Layers of Fear, the remake.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I bought it. Because I wasn't a fan. The first one was good. Second one was mediocre. And I don't know. I'm a sucker, I guess. Then I got Martha is Dead.
Okay.
Fran Bow, which is Digital Monkery's highlight. He reviewed it for me for Halloween last year.
Yeah. I'll see you getting Halloween games in right now.
Yeah. It's that time. Actually, I'm kind of late to the party, but I'll get there. I got Dark Devotion, The Last Kids on Earth, and Ghoul Patrol, Zombies at My Neighbor's mix.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, one thing, if you are listening, you need to track Bobby down on social media. You still going by the name of Handsome Rob?
Nope. Chronicle the Gamer.
Chronicles _.
_A gamer.
Okay. I should know this. I've got it tattooed on my arm. I don't know what I was thinking. But obviously, with the impending spooky season, you normally run through your spooky games.
Yeah, I've been slacking on Instagram since June, but it's time to come back.
It's okay. You know, people wait for the best stuff. Okay. Is that all you picked up? Is that the list complete?
Yeah, that's everything on my wish list I had.
If I'd been the shop attendant,
I wish you could. You know what I wish you could do in PlayStation? I wish when you find something you like that's interesting, I wish you can share it to a friend, but you can't. So I got to take a picture of it and send it to a text message.
Now, I thought there was a way you could do that, but I guess I'm wrong.
Because I went to the 3 dots, I hit it. You could follow the game. You can wish list it or add it to the cart, but you can't share it. I remember I could have sworn I used to do that,
but then I only do screenshots to share it. I think I don't think I could find it.
Like I was looking for it, and I was like, maybe you can't do it no more. Who knows?
Interesting.
I'll tell you what, too. Looking at the app right now, which I found interesting, that PlayStation Stars thing. I just saw it. If I go there, I can buy some games.
Yeah, I should think you've got stars built up. Yeah,
like a lot of, and it's not too bad actually. Kind of didn't expect that.
No, if you invest in it, if you go in there and you chase the coins, like they offer like 50 coins here and 50 coins there, just by logging into a game or downloading a trial of a game or downloading this month's free games and playing one of them, you can literally start really racking those points up quite quickly. It does mean sort of living in the ecosystem, but what system reward scheme doesn't need you to live in the ecosystem? It would be a bit hard to ride the pony on all 3 of these ecosystems, or 4 if you're in PC gaming as well. But I think it's worth it. It's worth keeping on top of, because I've had games from the PS Stars. I've had games from the Nintendo Rewards program. So I think it's been a worthy thing. And if you're not there, you're missing out. It's not often that they give you something for nothing. Well, technically they're not, but
Like I can get Cuphead, I can get Moss, Dredge, Stardew Valley. Look, they offer those.
That last game's probably not worth.
And then I can even buy $20 wallet.
I normally buy the wallet and then go get what I want.
Yeah. I could buy apparently I could buy $60 worth of for my points.
How much?
$60. I can get 3 $20 wallets.
Look at this guy.
3 $20 wallets.
Yeah, it's 5,000 points for a $20 wallet.
My God.
I never even knew that. I never even looked at it until now. It was an accident looking for the wish list, and I clicked onto this.
I can get like a £5 one. You can get $60.
I've had
My
a few
God.
£5 to be
Yeah.
fair. Well done to Bobby. Good effort.
Ooh.
Is that because
Interesting.
you've been buying some digital games?
Yes, sometimes you know what? I mean, I like to collect the games, but like if I don't really, like Diablo 4, I think is digital only,
Mm-hmm.
but I made a cover to put it in the shelf just because, and I put a handsome Rob digital purchase thing, whatever. But if it's not like really appealing to me, like I don't want to collect, like have it, then I'll just buy digital. I realize it'll save some space on the shelf.
Mm.
I'm not fully moving away from physical because that's the only way. No one's gonna ever tell you can't play it ever again. But if it's whatever, it's on sale and it's $10, it's $20, I'll get it. No big deal.
Right.
I guess I've been purchasing and I've got this. Plus, the PlayStation credit card has got me some big points.
Okay.
Double
Well,
dipping.
Let's. Wow. Let me regale you with what I've been playing. So I finished Luigi's Mansion, and what do you know? I'm going to be a little bit pithy here, if I may, but game probably overstayed its welcome by about 2 hours.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Towards the end, I was kind of like, when you get the Polter Kitty comes along and it grabs the button and it goes down a floor and then you go down there and it goes another floor and it's like, this is just filler. At this point, this is just filler. And some of the things towards the end game, when I got up to like floor 13, I was look at my watch, feeling a bit like, I just want to see this done now. And
right.
everything was variations of the same. The King Boo battle was pretty good. A lot of that was down to luck, to be honest. When it goes into its 3 variants, a lot of that was down to luck. And I think I chased through a load of lives and then got lucky just this one time, killed it first time on its second evolution, where you fight it as 1, then you fight it as 2, and then you fight it as 3.
Yeah.
And I think the first one, obviously, you can just take down. The second one, I got lucky. And then the third one, I was sort of stuck in this routine of always picking the wrong one. It's, oh, God, I thought it was left, and I took left, and I took middle, and then like either died or took right, and it was left again, or whatever it was. I don't really know what was going on in that boss battle. But then I had one more go, nailed it first time, and I was like, okay, now I'm okay with it. When it ended, I thought the credits and the rebuilding of the hotel was spoilers. Was pretty cool. And
But
overall,
you can also try to fix it with your score. The hotel changes.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. The more you use hints and the more you buy things to find stuff, the lower your score. So if you get a high score, the whole hotel's fixed beautifully. If not, it looks like, they're better.
Oh, okay. Well, I've put it to one side, and I plan to revisit because I enjoyed it, and maybe come Halloween I'll play through it again.
I found it pretty fun with a co-op.
See, I'm just one player.
Yeah,
I only played one player,
and the ghosts don't really provide that much of a challenge. Some of the bosses are intriguing, and sometimes when I say that, I feel like it overstayed its welcome. It's like, oh, another red one. Flash, walk around the back, Hoover, a bit more of a struggle, blah, 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 a load of blue ones turned up, Flash, fight, knock them into each other. By then it was starting to wear a bit thin. But, I'm not here to beat down on it too much, just that little bit. So it's a great game. Maybe could have cut itself a little bit shorter, or maybe had a little bit more variation in ghosts. But, by the time I popped out the other side, I felt like I'd had a good experience. And one that still looks great. Handheld, have to admit, the downgrade in handheld versus docked is significant, and you can see it. But it's a gorgeous looking game either way. It's just a shame it didn't quite match it in handheld, because I feel like some of those levels, or really most of them, would feel incredible, probably better in handheld, because you're looking through into the screen rather than up on the telly, and a lot of them are framed almost in that style of the Switch screen itself. From there, I went tumbling headlong into a playthrough of Mario Galaxy. now on the 3D All Stars collection. Now that it's aged, but it's still actually a fun Mario experience. The first few times I've played it on the Wii a little bit, I dabbled with it, but I'm going all in on this one, and I'm on like World 4 or whatever it is, and I think I've maxed the stars out on each one. So it's challenging, but it's not massively challenging. But walking around the worlds and being upside down and the right way up, there's a couple of times where I felt a little bit sick, if I'm honest.
Wow.
While my brain's getting used to this whole weird dynamic of walking upside down on things to come up the other side. Again, fun little game. I'm just enjoying taking a break at the moment and just playing like trivial nonsense and just enjoying it for the sake of it. Again, it's working perfectly right now to have a game I can play on the bus. I can play on the toilet. I can play, upside down on a swing if I want to. And that's given me much satisfaction. Off the back of that, and here's the one. Knights of the Old Republic 1.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played this since the original Xbox. And man alive, it's not aged very well. If you can stick the landing, there's a good game under there. Like a very unrefined Mass Effect, which is basically what it is with a Star Wars skin. But some of the bits in that, they're so 2000. It's a tough game to play now.
I nearly downloaded that. They had on offer the double pack, didn't they? 1 and 2.
That's what old idiot boy here downloaded.
I was very close to doing it, and I just thought, after me and you, when we went to Manchester, played the Jedi Academy one, and although it was fun,
It's better than that. It's better than that. Only because it's basically a great big dice rolling game and it doesn't hide it. Your character's not even aiming at the person it's shooting at. A bit like first Mass Effect, if I'm honest, before they reskinned it in the remastered trilogy where it became a normal shooting game. And that's why that remastered edition doesn't do that first game any favours, in my humble opinion. But I think that I like that style of the dice roll. And yeah, it's okay. It's tough at times. Like, there's nowhere to really grind either to get your skills up. So, yeah, it's a little bit unrewarding. But the story and everything is meeting with much satisfaction. I've been enjoying that. And I think that might be all I've been playing, gentlemen. So, yeah, a rather boring story from me. I've not been able to get near the Xbox at the Ponsonbury Manor. I don't know what's being played on it, but it's certainly, I'm not actually convinced it's even Starfield. It's probably Fortnite, James' work experience boy up there playing. His latest addiction seems to be Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know what's going on there. I've never had a
popular.
Was it? Okay. Well, it still is here. We're 20 years behind the times. That's why I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic and all that sort of stuff. The Mario Galaxy. Gentlemen, let's say Bobby, have you played Mario Galaxy?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
A long time ago. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I bought 2. The sequel was pretty good.
Yeah,
Right?
again, I've dabbled with that on Wii. Yeah, there is Mario Galaxy 2. I've dabbled with it on Wii.
Every Mario game Eva has. That's the only time I could play with Eva, because she likes Mario games.
Fair enough. And I understand the appeal. It's just fun, nonsensical nonsense, and it with a little bit of like a almost Disney-esque storyline playing on in the background.
Yeah.
I feel like a kid again in my PJs in the morning. It's that kind of feeling. RGT, have you had any experience of Mario Galaxy?
Very little. I've got 1 and 2, I believe, and I think I did have a brief go on it, but I can't remember. I'd have to go back and revisit it. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting, like I say, the 3D All Stars for the Switch. That'd be a nice version to have, I think. Before
we dive into the news, I read a little article claiming that Nintendo had the Switch 2 behind closed doors, and it's with the NVIDIA upscaling, it's equidistancing graphical power to a PlayStation 5. In fact, Nintendo were running the Unreal Matrix tech demo on it. What do you make of that?
Well, there was a few of the they were behind closed doors developers, weren't they? At PAX, they were showing. I think they were showing at running. If true, and it is as powerful as they say, I mean, that would be quite an impressive bit of kit, especially if it's handheld. I mean, if it comes out and it's more powerful than a Steam Deck, that's run on 4K, I mean, that's going to be pretty impressive.
Metal backplate, cooking egg on it.
Yeah, I mean, I need some serious cooling in there. I mean, look at the size of a PS5 to keep that cool. But yeah, if that's true, I mean, that is going to be a bit of kit. That is going to be a bit of kit.
If the Steam Deck can do it, Nintendo can do it.
Yeah, but could they do it for a price point that a kid could ultimately save up for, though, Bobby?
No, but the parent will buy it for their kid because parents love their kids. Kids love Nintendo.
And a high-value gift is a great way to show your kid you love it without saying it.
Exactly. Exactly.
If I knew we could,
they could do it because for any price point they set, it's Nintendo.
Yes,
you're just going to buy it. That's it. I have a Switch too.
Okay, Mumsy. Get the Switch 2 duvet out, baby.
I'll tell you what's better than. It's better than the PlayStation thing already.
The Portal. Less said, soonest mended, friend, I think, on that. We said a few weeks ago that Sony feel like they're stepping into the 32X Mega CD add-on territory, and I'm nervous to say that that might be true.
No, it's a complete...
I ponied up, got VR2.
Complete failure.
Yeah, Portal failure, VR2.
It's
a great bit of tech, but where's my games? I'm playing No Man's Sky on it. Same game I played a lot on my VR1, and it's the only game I'm playing on VR2.
I'm afraid PSVR 2 has got a bit of a whiff of the Vita about it.
Yep.
Drop it. Let's see how it goes for a few months and then leave it.
I don't think it's going to come back. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thing is, that might be one burn too many for me. That Vita burn.
Yeah.
VR1.
I mean, the Vita was great. I don't know what happened to that. They failed that completely.
The Vita should have been.
I had no interest in the virtual reality, and I had no interest in the portable. So for me, I don't really care about it. But if you bought it and got excited for it, then I feel bad.
PSVR 1 was way more support than PSVR 2.
Correct. Yeah,
a lot more games. It was new. It sold better.
VR was a hot topic at that time. Now it's dead again, and it has these moments. One question I've got about the earbuds, I don't know if anyone's got the answer to this, but obviously Sony brought out those gaming earbuds, but they've also got their proprietary tech, the PlayStation Connect or Audio, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean if I bought those, I couldn't use them with my phone?
I know with the Portal, you can only use the Sony headsets with them, and I can't even use the standard Pulse 3D. You need a Pulse 2 of them. The standard Pulse 3D will not work with them, which is naughty. But whether you can use them the other way around and use them on your phone, I don't know, because I don't even... That's their own sort of proprietary system, isn't it? It's not even even Bluetooth, is it?
So those earbuds are going to be about as popular as...
I would imagine you can use them with a Sony phone, I would imagine.
No, because it's not got that Connect feature on it. So that's also... I mean, to me, that reeks of like the missteps are made with the Vita and the proprietary memory cards.
Yeah, memory cards, yeah.
And although it locks you into the ecosystem, fair enough. But that's a bit much.
It is a bit much.
I
have Sony headphones. I have two. I have the earbuds, and I have these. They sound great. Sound amazing. Connected to anywhere. What is the big deal? It's almost like free advertisement. If I got Sony PlayStation earbuds in my ear, that look cool.
They look
cool. See it anyway.
Well, I mean, I use these Pulse 3D, so I use them for the podcast, I use them for the game, and they're brilliant. Fantastic headset.
Use them for bedroom yoga.
Yep. And not being able to use them on a Portal is, you're thinking, what? So now if I buy a Portal, I've got to buy a Pulse 3D headset too. The second one? No, come on. Come on. That's... Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, definitely.
If they were going to launch this proprietary audio technology, they should have put in the PS5, and then they'd have had a wider range of installed users that literally had these headsets they could use with a PS5. No dongle stuck in the front of it. You get your brand new PS5, you go get your brand new Pulse headset, and you've got a USB memory stick looking thing hanging out the front of it.
Yeah, I know.
That's not cool.
I can't even use these. I can plug these in, or I just have a regular Sony old school with the wire, the typical wire microphone. I use that when I play video games with Marlon and Danny, because it's just easy for me to hear people. But if I want to put these on, if Ava's sleeping, I have to plug them in with the plug. That you can't do Bluetooth. It's Sony, man.
I mean, my dongle, I put in the USBs on the back because if you walk past your PS5, that thing sticks out 1.5 inches. You're going to snap that off. So I put it in, and it doesn't look nice sticking out the front. It looks ridiculous.
I did the same thing with my gold headset on my Pro, but I don't use a headset with a PS5, if I'm honest. I just use the surround sound. But yeah, the headset. But when I had the VR plugged in and everything, it uses the back USB sockets. So on the Pro, you had to have it sticking out the front, and as you say, it was like a Vietnamese tripwire. It was just begging to kill you, and it at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the only reason people tune in these days, RGT, and it's not the song.
That is.
He's like the Lone Ranger riding on down.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Do you like video games, podcasts, and reminiscing? I'm actor, video game writer, and total sweetie pie Connor Savage McCabe, and on each episode of Call Me By Your Game, I sit down with a guest for an intimate look at a special game from their past. Did you and your dad beat Spyro the Dragon over the holidays? Or was Halo 4 the one thing that united your roommates during your senior year of college? Stories like these are what Call Me By Your Game is about. From video game content creator Janet Garcia to Hades voice actor Courtney Vinays, I interview wonderful comedians and game industry friends about these memories. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe someday you'll call me by your game.
To bring hidden gems to me. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You've been practicing, haven't you?
Oh,
I appreciate
you
the time
should see
you put
what
in.
I've been doing in my throat.
And gospel choir a lot.
Let's get stuck in. Me and Bobby are fired up for a round of the guessing game. Give us the little snippets, friend.
I actually found out about this game through you, funnily enough, George.
So if I don't get this is epic fail.
Yeah, because I think you might have dabbled in this game as well. So
prior to rehab.
Yeah, I think you might have had a little old dabble. But I played this last week, and this really sort of stuck with me, this game. And I thought, you know what? People don't talk about this. This is cheap game, and I think this is a hidden gem.
How can it be a hidden gem if I've hidden gemmed it to you? Now you're basically recycling my hidden gem. Let's play the guessing game.
Right. This is developed by Gamius, I believe it's pronounced. And it is published by Whitethorn Games. And it was released, I believe it was released PC 2021 and then 2022 on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One. And it is a graphic story adventure.
Is it Read Only Memories? It's not, is it?
No. I would say this game is if you put, let's think, if you put Telltale game, Life is Strange and Firewatch in a little pot, this is the game that would come out of it.
This is a recommendation from me.
Well, I say recommendation. You were intrigued by it, and I think you started playing it. I don't think you finished it. But that sort of perked my interest. And then I saw it on the PS Plus the other week to download. And I thought,
any clues yet, Bobby, what this is?
No, I have no idea.
He's just sat back reclining, ready to be regaled with a tale of a hidden gem.
Shocked.
Yeah. I don't think Bobby would like this, to be honest. I don't think it's Bobby's sort of game.
How dare you cast these aspersions?
No,
give me another clue. I want one more clue.
It's set in the 80s, and you play as a woman.
Is it Lake?
Yes, it is. It is.
I've got Lake, but
Lake?
I fell off the train. Yeah.
Yeah, Lake. It's you play as
parcel delivery game, Bobby.
Funny enough, sort of busman's holiday for me, but it's yeah, you're a software developer and you go back to your hometown around this lake where you grew up, and your mum and dad have gone on holiday for 2 weeks, and you cover your father's mail round. And as you go round, you do your route each day, however you want to do the route, but you bump into the local people, you get stories, you do them favour, and the story uncovers as you go. And at the end of the game, you have a life choice to make as to where you go in your future. I love this game. I think, one, because working in that industry, that delivering in a little place like that would be perfect for me. That'd be fantastic. In a little community like that around a lake in the middle of nowhere. It's lovely.
There were, if I may, if this
it's
may
scary.
be no.
If
this may be an interactive hidden gem, if possible.
Mm-hmm.
I did find the day-to-day delivery of the parcels a little bit obtuse.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just was like, oh, God.
I loved it. I loved working my route out in the morning and then going off and getting your letters and your post. I mean, to be fair, it's a game version of a post round. I mean, if I had a round that small every day, I'd be done in 3 minutes. But it's a bit, you have like 8 letters and 4 parcels. But I loved the story. It was a fantastic.
The map looks very Friday the 13th Nintendo.
Yeah. It's like I say, it's Telltale graphics. It's a funny little game, but I just love the story, and I think it's where it would appeal to you, Bobby, is it's a very easy platinum, and you can platinum this in 5-6 hours, and it's on PS Plus. You're only mainly,
and it's on PS4.
Yes, and you're only mainly your main story issue for the platinum is just at the end where you decide to you have to get all endings, which is you just do a save before the final scene and just run through the final scene 3 times, and it's done. You've got your platinum. But I just really enjoyed the story. I thought if you want something on a Sunday afternoon, just sit down and play through and just relax. It's a lovely little game set in a lovely little town.
Like a palate cleanser.
Yes, palate cleanser. I mean, and if you want the hard copy of this, you can pick this up brand new, sealed for a PS5 for $10 to $15.
Oh, don't say that, because I bought it for 40, I reckon.
No, I wouldn't have come out of 40, surely.
Well, it's cheap as a PS5 game at that.
But yeah, you can buy it brand new now for $10 to $15. And I think it's,
ouch.
There was actually a good little Easter egg in there of I won't say what it was, but it was of an English drama series it was on, and the actor actually appears. You can find him in the game. So
Michael Ellsworth from Boone.
Oh, you've ruined it now. Oh no, it wasn't. But yeah, so it's definitely worth a play. If you like Firewatch, if you like Life is Strange, if you like Telltale games, then give this a go, because it's a great little game for the money.
Yeah, I have to admit, I need to probably dig back into it. It's a good hidden gem. I can't believe it's hidden gem. I don't know what qualifies as a hidden gem. Who knows anymore? But yeah, interesting game.
I think for me, it's because if you haven't got PS Plus, it's cheap for the latest gen systems. It's a great little story, and no one really talks about it. And I think that's worth talking about. So I think it's a great little game. I think it might have been the developer's first game on console, whereas I used to be doing mobile stuff. So that's a good first entry for them.
Good effort all round. Okay, well, there we go. Lake. So it is. Okay, well, those that pay attention to the show, all 182 episodes of it to this point, know that when we've talked about what we've been playing and we've desecrated the Boone theme tune, if you don't know what the real Boone theme tune sounds like, you stick it into YouTube and you can hear the proper tune. It's absolutely banging. I desecrate it on a weekly basis, but it's probably one of the best tunes to come out of an 80s British TV show. It's time for the news. We scour the very darkest region of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, I remember those. Who else grew up reading gaming magazines? While print media has receded over the years, there's still a lot of passion for it amongst enthusiasts. There's been lots of high-quality independent mags cropping up, and RPM looks like another great example. Spearheaded by Sandeep Rai, and we have been in talks to get Sandeep on, and I'm looking forward to welcoming him on board. In fact, before I get stuck in, to those that are wondering where Seb is, he was at PAX. He's had an absolute blockbuster time there. He was called out by fans of the show in PAX, which is a great experience. He even played Mario Wonder with the mighty Phil Spencer. I mean, where does it stop here? But he's that exhausted from his showbiz activities. He's resting up. Anyway, back to the story. Sandeep Rai previously penned books about PS Vita and PS3. RPM is a magazine that looks back on PlayStation. It focuses on the platform's history, filled with retro interviews, features, and reviews spanning PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP, and PS Vita. The project sought crowdfunding on Kickstarter and successfully met its target in just 8 hours. The first issue is already complete and work has begun on the second. The plan is to release 3 60-page ad-free issues per year. A stretch goal which is yet to be reached will see the production of an accompanying zine focused on photo modes and digital photography. RPM is a retro magazine looking back on the fascinating history of PlayStation. Because the first issue is done, backers will see their pledges rewarded. And we're shipping physical mag estimated for late October. You also get a digital PDF version, but where's the fun in that? Anyways, it looks like a nice product for PlayStation aficionados. What do you think of RPM? Let us know in the Discord. We'll be interested in finding out, and we'll have a flick through the Discord like a magazine later on today to see what you think of it. I have got the PS3 book winging its way to me as we speak, which I'm quite excited. And I've also got digital versions of the PlayStation Vita book and Sandeep's work. I think we spoke about him briefly with Slopes when we had him on RGT. Bobby, question for you. Would you be interested in getting yourself hands-on 3 times a year with a magazine celebrating all things PlayStation?
No.
Do you know what I love about you, Bobby? Is you one word straight to the chase. No wasted air here. Let me reword this. Back in the day, before the rise of the mighty internet, he's having a swig of his drink, so he's obviously knows he's going to have to do a couple of paragraphs. Were you a magazine buyer? Were you like Nintendo Power Kid or whatever the equivalent Sega magazine was over there in the States? Or what was going on there? Did you read the magazines as a kid?
No.
Never?
No, I mean, my friend Adam collected the Nintendo Power.
Yes.
So, like, if I was at his house, I'd give it a little read through. That was cool. If the game magazine had a disc in it, we go to the local store and distract the owner and then rip the plastic out and run home with the CD.
Oh, no, this is not how I wanted this to go at all.
It was business. I was a kid. It was a kid. We didn't want to do, As I got older, I just bought them. I had a job.
Okay, yeah, fine.
But I really try to only get, because I love the demos. So I thought demos were so cool. So I bought only for the demos. But if it had, like, cool cover art or something I was interested in, I'd buy the magazine, but it wouldn't be like all the time.
Doesn't seem like you've got a lot of nostalgia for it, but so an instant no from you for this if it came and it covered off a load of games that you liked, covered off the eras that you liked, only 3 times a year. It's not even a monthly commitment. You still say no.
I mean, I have to look at it, to be honest. I didn't know about it until now, which is, I like to get surprised by the news myself.
That's what the news is for, Sonny.
So I love it. I did purchase, Pat, the NES Punk. He made the Total Nintendo, whatever it's called, collection.
Yeah.
I bought that. And then
is that the one that Dagan Moriarty did the illustrations for? I think it is.
Oh, I don't know. But it's thick.
Yeah.
It's and I bought the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Supposedly he's making a Sega Genesis one, which I'll definitely buy because I just think I love that kind of stuff. So if this is like that, then yeah, it's possible. I just gotta look at it.
Okay.
To be honest.
RGT, I know you collect anything with the word computer game on the front of it. And if I released a pair of my soiled underwear and wrote computer game on the front in Tipex, it would be in your, in your collection.
Oh, God, yeah. That'd be framed on the wall.
What do you think about Sandeep's latest adventure here with the RPM magazine?
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I've got quite a big collection of magazines, as you know, and I love gaming magazines, whether they're new released ones to see, what's coming out. I know Wave Game Studios can do a really good one about indie games you can get. You've got the new Sega magazine that's available to buy now. You've got the Amiga magazine that's out. So I love all the new ones, but I also love going back to the old ones and flicking through and seeing what was big in the day, what the top 5, top 10s were, best-selling games. But yeah, for free, I mean, they're obviously going to be coming from him as well, they're going to be quality magazines. So yeah, I'm all over this. Love those.
The photo and the imagery and all that sort of stuff in the books itself is fantastic. If the magazine gets close to that 3 times a year, it's going to be well worth looking at. As you know, I mock you with you collect my pants. I would also collect your pants. Either of you, really, if they had.
I do believe you already have a pair of mine. Or did you know that? I know that.
I thought I'd got away with a surreptitious borrow of those. I actually tell my children off if they say borrow because they have no intention of paying back. So I took those pants of yours, yes.
Yeah, shame. They're my favourite silk pants, those ones.
Mate, what are you talking about? They're a very, very crotch-stained pair of Dave Mallard unmapped, crotchless Speedos of a very rare Norfolk-based video game character.
Oh, I didn't realise you had those ones.
I had to wrestle them out of Donna's fingers.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I'm glad I found out on air about that.
I won. Enough of this joviality. We're a serious gaming news show, of which the credentials we will back up shortly. RGT, what's next in the news hamper?
Grab the car, sweets. It's time for a road trip. Forza Horizon 5 community is already doing all sorts of amazing things for the game's Event Lab creator tool. But next week, it's getting a free upgrade, the rollout of Event Lab 2.0 on the 12th of September. This new and improved version of the tool features improvements such as multi-select custom event flyers and creating and sharing prefabs. To top it off, the game is also adding Event Lab Island as well as new props. New features deserve an amazing new place and to be experimented at. Event Lab is a brand new location specifically for creating Event Lab content. It comprises of 2 kilometres by 2 kilometres flat concrete platform surrounded by ocean. Event Lab Island is its own separate location. You'll be able to add more props to each event you create with it thanks to an increasing prop budget. As part of this, Playground Games is also adding new car parts and some new cars from brands such as Rivian, the 2022 Rivian R1S, 2022 Rivian R1T, and Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. You can get the full rundown on the Forza blog. Fresh additions to the car customization, including 20 rims from a new to Horizon aftermarket brand, Vorsteiner, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Vorsteiner, as well as the new body parts from AC Schnitzer. So I heard that name before in a film. A Wiener Schnitzer.
That's not safe for a PG show.
And returning Forza wide body kit for the 1995 BMW 850 CSI. The update would include various fixes and technical improvements for the Xbox and PC versions of Forza Horizon 5, addressing loading issues and car glitches. Will you be checking out the Event Lab 2.0 update when it arrives in Forza Horizon 5?
You're a Forza Horizon 5 player these days, RGT. This news is here for you. Have you inhaled any of the Event Lab?
No, I've never tried it. But it sounds very interesting, and I do like that with certain Xbox games. They do open them up to quite a lot of this sort of modern scene and different bits and pieces you can do. I think they're even bringing it to other games with opening it up to, mods and bits and pieces. I think Starfield is going to be available to be modded as well. So, yeah, I think it's a great thing, but also keeps your community involved. I think it's a great thing to keep the longevity of the game because it gives you something different to keep playing. So, I think I'll definitely take a look at that.
Bobby, let me phrase this in a way that may get a response from you. Have you ever took to creating things in game, maybe Fallout 4 the base creation, or maybe Skyrim when you could get a house? Have you ever dabbled in anything like this, or are you just like, nah, man, I just want to play the game, one player, be done with
yes.
it? I hate you.
No. In Fallout 4, once I beat the game already, so it was already nothing left to do besides the same recurring missions in Skyrim.
Yeah.
They kept kidnapping my kid, and I just got tired of it.
Okay.
But during that time when he was kidnapped, I actually built a house.
Hmm.
And all in my own mind, in my own story within the game, all my armor that I wore, I displayed in the second floor.
Oh,
And I
wow.
had like a fireplace and a couch. And then once all that was done, I went to the first floor, made like a kitchen because I had my wife. I forgot her name. I have to log back in to find out.
Meant
But
a lot to you.
she was a warrior. She was a warrior. She retired. She took an arrow to the knee, and I let her just watch the house. What I was getting mad at is that the kid kept getting kidnapped. Like, you are a warrior wife. You couldn't help. And then I have to go to the cave, and get my kid back. But during that time, I built a house. And Fallout 4, I made I said Fallout 4? I meant Skyrim. No, I don't know if I said that Skyrim. It was Skyrim. In Fallout 4, I made a really cool metal house with like everything that I found from my travels, like bookshelves and tables and random ornaments on the wall. I think I got a video somewhere of it. Pretty cool. I liked it. I mean, I don't mind doing it. I have fun with it sometimes, yeah.
Can you see it adding legs to a game?
Oh, I love mods. I think mods are amazing. I think on the PC Witcher, they had like the Batman mod. You're Batman now. They had a bunch of stuff like that. I think mods are great. I think on the PC version of Skyrim, my friend was showing he was like King Leonidas.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm telling you, they have great mods, man. Mods are amazing.
Okay. Well, PlayStation players don't often get the mods. Even in Farming Simulator, they're cut down and weak. If I'm honest.
No, we don't get mods because I don't know why.
Someone might creep in the back of PlayStation's ecosystem and steal your credit card details, I'd imagine. They like to be safe. They don't want to have to bow again for a week solid like they did before. I joke about that, but it's actually quite serious for the Japanese people involved. Bobby, this last bit of news has been selected for you personally.
One last inevitable journey. Batman Arkham Knight might not be the only major Batman series making its way to the Switch in the near future. A rating by the ERSB in North America for the action role-playing game spin-off Gotham Knights now also mentions the Nintendo Switch as a platform. The rating is T for teen, with the game containing blood, language, and use of alcohol and tobacco and violence. Here's the full summary. A rating for the Gotham Knights on Nintendo Switch has also popped up in Singapore, as highlighted on social media. If we hear any further updates about this one, we'll let you know. The Batman Arkham trilogy is made up of Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. It will arrive on the Nintendo Switch next month on October 13th.
So
what gets me mad is why can't we put all 4 games together? I know it's a different publisher or developer.
Well, I've got a couple of questions here. Mm-hmm. I've played all 3 Batman games and thoroughly enjoyed them. Mm-hmm. I actually think there might be great games to take on the go, which is why I've pre-ordered.
Here we go. Switch talk.
Pour yourself a glass of milk, pull yourself up a chair, and let me regale to you stories of the Switch. Joking aside, that does seem like a great game to have on the go, and mainly as well from a scientific point of view. I want to see how Arkham Knight is going. Like Arkham Asylum, no problems. Arkham City, no problems. PS3 360 games, they're going to run pretty easy on Switch. Arkham Knight still looks fabulous to this day.
Yeah, it does look stunning, doesn't it?
And I know Bobby's
Arkham
put a lot
Knight
of hours.
Looks better than Gotham Knights.
Arkham Knight looks better than Gotham Knights. Can you imagine Arkham Knight running on the Switch? I can't. No. I'm all in. I want to see this, which is why I've pre-ordered it. Now, I was shocked to see Gotham Knights also getting a release. Now, Bobby, if I remember back, you jumped on the hype bandwagon for this. I don't know what I'm saying. I said band train. No one really knows what they are. You got on the bandwagon. You're a big fan of the Arkham universe that was created on consoles for those 3 games and some of the spin-off media, the PSVR game, etc., etc. I don't remember Gotham Knights running that well on PS5.
No, I mean, because I think me and my brother were playing it, just having a good time together. I kind of overlooked a lot of the annoying things the game offered. And then the story was all over the place. The combat was okay. I think some of the traveling was a bit weird for certain characters, but yeah, I wasn't all that. It was, I maybe like a 6 out of 10.
Wow.
If I had to, it was fun. It was, but I guess if you're playing alone and not having to, talking to your friend or whatever, I could see you're getting maybe more annoyed with it
The
because you
thing
could
is,
tell something was there.
is the only time that they could extract revenue from Gotham Knights by climbing on the back of Batman Arkham Trilogy and creeping through the door and then maybe putting it on the eShop store and hoping people maybe take a punt on it to try and complete the collection digitally or some other nonsense like that? Is that what you is that
Yeah.
Is that what's going on here?
Yep.
RGT, you've got your finger in every game empire from the Evercade to the Switch. Epstein's got nothing on you, pal. What do you think about this? Have you played Gotham Knights?
Wow, that's an introduction. Wow. I haven't. I was always tempted, but it was getting quite slated back in the day, and I never really dabbled with it. I'm more interested, I think, in the Arkham trilogy. I think on Switch, I can really see myself actually getting that.
The only annoying thing for me is obviously it doesn't include Origins, which for me is possibly the best one. Well, that I know that's flagrant to say such a thing.
I don't know why people don't like the game.
I love it. I think
we should do a poll.
I like the game. I really like.
I've put my back out. There ain't no way I'm doing a poll.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great. I thought it was nice. I thought it was compact. I thought that the setting and the season especially lent to it. And I played that a couple of Christmases ago and had a thoroughly good time doing so.
Yeah, I played it on your recommendation and I thought it was a brilliant game. Really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember back, I don't remember Arkham Knight. Did Arkham Knight come to the Wii U?
It was, wasn't it? Which one have I played on the Wii U? I think it was it Origins I played on the Wii U?
Might have been Origins, yeah.
Yes,
it was.
That was the Origins I played on Wii U.
Didn't City come on Wii U with some kind of special?
Yeah, I bet it did, but we
Armored edition or something.
Yeah. But
it was quite good because you had your map on your tablet on your Wii U controller, so you could see all the enemies and bits.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, good version as well. I enjoyed playing it on there.
But Arkham Knight on Switch, can't wait. Can't wait.
And like you say, they are brilliant games to actually have on the go. You are right with that.
Are they going to decompress it, maybe?
I mean, Batman Arkham Knight, I don't know enough about the technical side of it, but I think that made a PS4 sweat out the gates.
Listen, if you put Arkham Knight on your PS5 with your new TV, it still looks amazing.
Yeah, and
I can't imagine this being converted to a Switch.
Well, it's happened. It's happening. So get yourself a front row seat for this bad boy. Arkham Asylum is going to be shipped on the disc on the card, and Arkham City and Batman Arkham Knight will be downloads like they do with quite a lot of games, Ezio and all those other trilogies that they've done.
Yeah.
So interesting. Let's see. I mean, again, it's no comparison, but BioShock is obviously on Switch, and that kind of is okay. I found out yesterday while flicking through the eShop, Bobby, Mortal Shell is on Switch.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised when they don't do these trilogies. I know it's probably costs more to produce, but they didn't make it, just the one Switch case, but with the 3 cartridges in, rather than the one and the download. You know
I reckon that'd be $100 though.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time they don't want to pay the licensing fee to Nintendo to actually buy the cards, because obviously the cards are proprietary. So you have to buy them from Nintendo en masse to ship it. And that's why a lot of the Switch cards as well, there's only a very small amount of data on there and the rest is topped up by an internet connection. So you can buy the smaller cards from Nintendo for a lesser price and then put your big mega bit game on there and make the rest of it a download. So, yeah, I don't know. Either Nintendo need to sort that out and be able to offer 3 cards, or they need to offer the high capacity card for lesser money to developers and publishers. I don't know what the correct answer is.
So, I mean, you might be able to answer this then. So, say you bought the trilogy, the Batman, or you have bought the trilogy.
Yeah.
You play it for a year, then you sell that game. Can the people still download the other two off that, or is that?
Yeah, well, no, I don't think so, because I recently purchased a second-hand copy of Final Fantasy X, and that also is the remastered edition I've bought a million times for PS4, PS3, PS Vita. The list goes on. I'm a mug. Bought it again for Switch, saw it cheap, thought, yeah, I'll get this. Used as well, so I'll feel okay about it. X2 is a download. I can't find X2 to buy separately in the eShop. Even the Vita let you buy that bit separate in the eShop or the PSN store. I've bought X. I can only play X. I'm really only that bothered about playing X. X2 is a nice aside, but it's not essential. But equally so.
It's a bit of a sticking point, though, isn't it, for the resale of games?
The code is gone. I can't find any other way of downloading that part of the thing I've bought, even if I want to buy it again, technically. The option's removed. Unless I buy the full package digitally, which kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm glad to have Final Fantasy X would be a great game to take on the go. And that's why I got it. But X2, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's X Factor with the girl stars of the original game in a very strange environment. But yeah, it just more to the point, just stick it on the card, please.
Yeah.
But let's face it, from a publisher point of view, from a developer point of view, you don't want, as much as we want to buy a second-hand game, they don't want you to buy a second-hand game, because that's a purchase that they've missed out on the revenue from. CEX, GameStop, Electronics Boutique, call them what you like. They make more money than the developers do of these games down the line. And those places wouldn't exist without those developers. So I don't know. It's a tough one to manage. We live in a strange time. Stood like the Colossus, either side of a gaming precipice, a chain in the wind, so to speak. And I'm sort of dangling in his crotch area, not sure which side of the fence I sit on. Community corrections, RGT. Pull yourself together, man. Was there anything in the Discord? Did you or I or Bobby say anything? Did Andreas from Bitwave say, apologies, he said the S word a lot of times. Yeah.
That might have been my fault.
Why?
I think I've got to tell him it was no swears. So that might have been...
As much as I could have also told him it was no swears, you're right, it's your fault.
Yeah, so consider that a stage 1 warning. So I'm on my final warning there. I don't think, as far as I know, there wasn't any community correction, so I'm just going to say no, there wasn't. So we win again.
Why don't we get Bobby this week to say flawless victory?
Flawless victory.
The base. The base.
I have got the winner of the August comment of the month, so I can do that.
Crikey, we're chucking these out, aren't we?
Yeah, I got a bit behind on them. So Game & Graham's present for the July one is winging its way to him. And we've got the winner for the August one. So
okay. Who was it?
Boba has picked Digital Muggery for this month.
What was his comment?
It was all to do with when we were at Timeless and I was putting up loads of pictures of you with your Switch friend. So all your Switch bits and pieces. And Digital Muggery had put on there, has today been rebranded George's Marvellous Switch Adventure. So that is the winning comment for August. Brilliantly put.
I'm getting a lot of shtick for this.
So I will be sending him off a prize.
Adam the artist did not know the tidal wave-like repercussions me buying that Switch would have on the show. Anyway, did we miss anything on this episode? Did we miss anything, or do you have an opinion or take on the news that we missed? If so, Bobby, how would the collected masses get in contact with us? Let us know that the talk about the Dave Mallard underpants was a little bit much. And George, you need to broaden your horizons. Well, Bobby wears pants too.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Occasionally.
I do. They could reach us at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. They could DM us through Instagram or Twitter, and then, or they can, do something else that we cannot say on air anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's forsaken.
Mm.
Now I've realised that by doing that, they don't actually know what it is we're talking about.
Just a place where all the cool things hang out.
If you want to be on the cutting edge,
it's a place.
Of cool. If you want to get sub-zero, if you want to get absolute zero of cool, the very fact
it's kind of like Neverland.
It is. If you want to know what it takes to be the coolest gamer on the scene, go listen to some other episodes, find out what we're talking about. Maybe visit us on Instagram, click the little link tree, and have a look at some of the links in there. You might be rewarded for it, but only if you're cool enough. And if you're not cool, you're probably already with us. What have I done? I've just insulted the fan base. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
Whoops. Awkward silence.
What do I need to do to atone for my sins? Let me know in the Discord. If I need to go out the back of Ponsonby Manor, cut myself down a switch, and I'm not talking... oh, no. I'm talking the sort of thing your dad would take to your backside if you've been a bad man. If I need to cut myself down a switch, for the American listeners, and attach it to... Do you have nettles in America, Bobby?
What is a nettle?
A nettle is...
You're going down a rabbit hole here.
What is a nettle?
I'm just gonna sit back and relax. There you go, George. Yeah,
a nettle is a plant that is got like these little hairs on it that carry like a little bit of venom in it. And if you get stung with a nettle, if you touch a nettle, you get these like bubonic like plague rash of raised welts on your hand. When you're a kid, it was like getting 3rd-degree burns. When you're an adult, it's an irritation.
I mean, I'm sure we do somewhere in America. I've never seen one. I had Googled it. They look familiar.
Okay, being a city boy, in the UK, if a bit of ground's left untested for a while, it'll be full of nettles.
Wow. Really?
And the smaller a nettle, the more vicious it is. This might be one for the Discord, but a big nettle, you walk past it, you barely... Was that a sting? I'm not really sure. But a small nettle, ooh, yeah, belter. I don't know if it's a concentration of the poison within it or what, but ouch. So if I need to flog myself with nettles to atone, let me know, listeners, and I shall upload it to YouTube.
Yep.
And atone for my sins. Now, us being the serious gaming news show that we are, it wouldn't be right and proper to let a game we've been talking about as being important to the survival. Survival is a strong word, but certainly to the reignition of the Xbox exclusive story. Obviously, Starfield's dropped, and for all intents and purposes, it's getting great reviews. Lots of 10s kicking around. I think the Metacritic weighs it in at about 8.5 or 85%, depending on how you want to measure your score of games. And despite some review bombing, holding at a strong late 60s, knocking on the door of 70 in the Metacritic user score as well. One would argue, if you can survive a review bombing to that degree and still come away with that sort of a score, you're doing well for yourself. For all intents and purposes, we talked about Starfield needing to be good to reignite the Xbox exclusive story. And for all intents and purposes, it has. And obviously, we've got the Sonny RGT there. He sold his Switch, he sold his PlayStation 5, he's bought himself an Xbox Series X, and he has been playing Starfield. Early impressions, obviously, and no spoilers because we don't want to ruin your game at home. But RGT, if I may, let's, through the medium of you, explore Starfield. Now, obviously, you're a relatively new arrival to the Xbox scene.
Mm-hmm.
You're a paid-up member of Games Pass.
Yep.
Obviously, one of the poster boys of the Xbox brand. And we've also got Bobby here with us because he's a Bethesda. We're not going down this road again, boys.
Tomato.
Anyway, I don't even know anymore. Bethesda. I'm going to call them that because I think that's what the fans like. Bethesda. I can't even say it. And that's it. So we have time for this week, listeners. obviously, Bobby, you've been a big fan of those games: Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4. You've dabbled in them all. You've waved your inclination of interest in the general direction of that stable of games. Obviously, Starfield 1 you can't get your hands on. So me and you are going to interrogate RGT on all things. Now, RGT, don't sit on the fence here, okay? Mm-hmm. You got your brand new Xbox there, purring away. You got your fresh subscription to Games Pass, actually paying you back. Obviously, as I say at the start of the show, the talk we've all had going into this is this needs to be a banger. Can Xbox fans rest easy? Is this a banger?
I think for Xbox fans, if that's your only system with recent history, then this is a welcome addition. Because after Redfall and anything else, they've needed a game to play. It's decent so far. It's not what I expected. It's not what I expected at all.
Just so we can manage expectations, what were you expecting?
I presume in my mind, I thought it would be more space exploration where you were free at your ship to travel the universe, find these planets, which to some extent you do, but it is, you get to, like, I'm still in the solar system in a minute, you find a planet, you need to go to that planet, you click on that planet, load screen. Your ship is then, you're looking at the front of your ship at this planet. Where do you need to land? Well, you've probably got one or two places to land. That's all that will give you. You can't land where you want on this planet. So then you click on a load screen. Then you land on the planet, and then you're in that.
When we say load screen, is it like a cutscene hidden loading screen, or is it like flash to text, black screen, load screen? That
when you're landing your ship on a planet, you'll have a small black window with a bit of a load screen, and then that will show your ship landing. When you're going from planet to planet, it just comes up with a loading screen.
So, just for a little bit of context, have either of you played Outer Worlds?
No.
Bobby, have you? Okay.
No.
That's made by the guys who did Fallout New Vegas, Obsidian.
Yes, I played that.
Yeah, okay. So that is, pretty much like a light Starfield then, I'd imagine, RGT. Is that a generous claim, or is Starfield giving us more?
Yeah,
I imagine it's giving us a lot more than that, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to... If someone's listening in, a dad somewhere, he's gone, I've heard this is a PG show, he's driving down the M1, or he's driving down Route 66 in America, and he's like, yeah, okay, I wonder if this is a piece of me. I'm trying to give them the route map through some games they might have known or played.
Yeah. It's, for me, that style of the load screen and it's quite restrictive for when you travel. It does break the immersion for me. I thought that'd be a bit more open. But on a plus point for a Bethesda game, it's the most approachable one I've played. I've always found Bethesda games quite obtuse when you start them. There's no point you in the right direction. You have to learn from your mistakes. This is a bit more intriguing. I know a few people have complained about the story. I think it's quite a good little story. And it's quite easily plotted out. It tells you where to go. It shows you on the map which places you've got to go to, who you've got to speak to. I found that quite nice. Graphically, apart from character models, but it's Bethesda, they never made amazing character models anyway. The actual graphics themselves looks good. To be honest, I was quite critical of it being locked at 30 FPS. I haven't really noticed. It's quite, for 30 FPS, it's quite smooth. It's not glitchy. Runs quite well. And like I say, I'm not that far into it. Probably only 4 hours. Like I say, the story is quite good. I quite enjoy it, and I quite like the travelling about. It's just the load screens are very, they break the immersion of the game for me. Because like the other day, I think I had to travel to speak to someone on this planet. So then I got in my ship to take off, small little scene, and then load screen. Then you get to the space bit. There was a space pirate come after me, done a bit of shooting, took him down. That was quite good fun. Quite easy, it's quite nice, but you feel quite restricted in the space you can fly in around that area. You can't just fly where you want. You feel quite restricted. And then you find a part where you've got to spin the planet around on your star map, click where you've got to land, load screen, then you land, then you come out of your ship, little mini load screen. And it breaks the immersion up for me. I thought it could have been, especially with how powerful the Series X is, it could be a bit more streamlined. Where you fly through the clouds, you land that ship. You know, I can understand from jumping to planet, it's a big area they're covering. You're not going to be able to do that. But when you're in the actual orbit of that planet, it'd have been nice if you could land it down on that planet, you know, rather than load screen, get out, load screen, out your ship, But it hasn't broke the game for me. I still want to play. I'm quite intrigued with the small part of the story I know so far. The character design's quite good. I mean, I'm not an expert on first-person shooters by any means. You know, I struggle with them.
Could you switch third person?
Yes, you can. You can switch free, which is really good. You've got I don't know which button it is. It's the little left button near your left analog stick. You can press that. You can go over the shoulder. You complete third person, or you can do first person. So you've got 3 views instantaneously. So you can play the game if you prefer shooting in first person. You can explore the planet. If you've got to take some shots, click your button, you're straight into first person, have your shoot out, click back out. So you can have that sort of Res 4 over the shoulder, or you can have complete third person. So that's a nice touch. And you could do that with your ship as well. You could be outside your ship as a third person, or you can be first person in the cockpit. But I've quite enjoyed that. The environment's quite good. That's typical of them. You can pick near enough anything up. You can pick up mugs. You can collect anything you want. From flower pots or anything. Why you would, I don't know, but you can collect as much as you want. But inside your spaceship looks really good. You know, that's got that real sci-fi spaceship feel about it, but it doesn't feel too far-fetched. It feels like it has been built by humans, your spaceship, if that makes sense. That's not too far out there. And the environments and space stations, some of them look fantastic, really good, like proper settlements, and you can find hidden things. But I say the only downside for me is those load screens. It is very immersion breaking, and if sometimes they can be quite heavy. If you're on a planet looking for a couple of hours, you're fine. But if you're following the story and you end up within the first hour having, load screen after load screen, I can understand why some people have found that a bit too much.
Okay, Bobby, I think when this game was first announced as an exclusive for the Xbox, I asked you if you had any interest in this game, and you famously just replied with one of your classic one-word answers, no. Having seen the reviews and RGT spoken about it, and obviously you've played Outer Worlds, which is not directly a Bethesda game, but it is an ode to that, and all the other games we've talked about. Does this intrigue you? Obviously, you've had fun in the other ecosystems. Does this generate any eyebrow raise from you at all?
I mean, I've always liked these type of games, so it interests me. Yeah.
I think if you're a big fan of Fallout 4, I think you would really enjoy this game. I think it is Fallout 4 in space, but more refined. You know, the graphics are really good. It looks nice. But I say the only thing with a space game, it has to be, and we all know how the launch of No Man's Sky was and how bad that launch. But now, a lot of people use that as the guide to go by for space games. They've made it really immersive. And it hasn't got that immersion. Don't go in expecting that you can just fly around space and find places. You will jump to places through the medium of cut screens. So it is a bit, there is that side to it. But as a game, like Fallout 4 in space, then if you liked Fallout 4, you would really enjoy this, I think.
Okay. Questions then, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
When you're landing the ship in one of these sort of interactive cutscenes, and you're in the cockpit view, is that possible? Or do they all just take place from outside? You see it landing, puff of smoke, and it's on the runway.
You just press land the ship, and then it shows you from outside your ship landing.
Ah, right. Okay, you can't do that inside.
Not as far as I know so far. I haven't found out. I'm not saying you can't, but I haven't. been able to do that so far.
Because that to
So
me
it's like Jedi Survivor flying.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't. Is it though? Because in Jedi Survivor, I think we're getting a little bit lost in the weeds here about these cutscenes. But Jedi Survivor, you get on board, it's seamless. You say take off, you see some clouds past the screen, then it goes a little bit darker, and then it's stars, and then you go to hyperspace. You can still walk around the ship while it's hyperspacing. Is that something that can happen in Starfield?
No,
Right.
you take off. You'll press to take off, and then it will show you a little scene of you taking off, then a load screen, and then you're in your ship around the orbit.
Do you think the immersion would have been less broken for you if it had been, as Bobby says, Jedi Survivor style?
Yeah, definitely. I think because for me, I love space games, and I think the key part of space games is flying onto a planet and landing, and flying in that universe. I know you've got to have a certain amount of cutscenes because of the size of it, the scope of it. You can't, but you feel, well, I feel personally, when you're in this little solar system around this planet, you can have a dogfight, but you feel very hemmed in. You have this dogfight in this area, and that is it. That you don't feel free, you feel restricted in this little space. And then you think, right, I've done the dogfight, I'll go and land on the planet. So you find a place where they want you to land, which is normally one or two places, and you'll click on that to land there, and then cutscene, and then you just see your ship land, then you exit the ship. So you press exit the ship.
Okay.
Mini cutscene, and you're out. So it does break. If that was a bit more fluid, then I could see this being. Yeah, I could see this being.
So those nuances to one side, we can argue about those till the cow comes home. But the actual bulk story of the game, you've got your ship, you're able to fly around. Has it grabbed you?
I think it has. Yeah. It's got me. It's not got me. So I just cannot wait to play this game. But it's got me where I want to go more because it's a basic story, but it's quite intriguing. And I like games that not hold your hand, but in a way, so you feel you have to look for the planet you've got to go for on your star map, but it will highlight once you find it where you've got to go. And I quite like that. You think, oh, you've got to speak to this person on this planet. Cool, find a planet, set your star map to go there. Off you go, and you go and find this person. I quite like that. It's quite simple, but it's laid out nice, and I do quite like the story. It's quite good.
How's the combat?
Like I say, I'm not an expert on first-person shooters, but I found the combat good. No issues at all.
Does it have a VAT system like Fallout?
You'll have to remind me what that is.
Kind of, it like pauses the action and tribute to Fallouts. You highlight a body area with the percentage of a hit that you're going to have on it.
I haven't noticed that. I'm not saying it hasn't got it. I haven't. I've just done straight off first-person shooting. And I do like your menu when you pause. It's really easy to use. So you've got on the top left, you've got your star map, you've got your inventory, you've got your gear, and you just link up which one you want. You can just go through your weapons, see what you've got. You can see your star map, where you are, where you got to go. That's all on that one screen. It's not too many sub-menus, so it's really user-friendly on that front, which for me is brilliant. I cannot stand sub-menu after sub-menu, keep clicking through. I find that absolutely monotonous. So they've really nailed that. I quite like that, and I like that style of, oh, hang on, if I've got to go here, where is that? You can just pause, ping, have a look at your star map. That's where I've got to go. Or you want to change your gun, ping, change your gun, done. So I've enjoyed that.
I have to admit, I don't want to use the medium of a 4-year-old game to discuss the medium of this brand new belter on Xbox, but Outer Worlds, I found I had the same issues you're having. Having been a No Man's Sky veteran, I was there day one, week one, and enjoyed that game through even when it first launched, but then through all of its different incarnations to this point. When I played Outer Worlds, I did struggle a little bit because I do enjoy Bethesda style RPG, and they certainly hit that on the nose with that game. There was the story, there's the complicated interpersonal relations that you sort of built up as you went with the team and people that you know. There was always an interesting story in terms of side stories and things like that within the game, side missions, call them what you will these days. I've always enjoyed that. Outer Worlds, I probably much like you wanted more from it, not just take off menu, load screen, arrive at new planet, land, get out, basically do a mini Bethesda map, get back on the ship and fly to the next one. That sounds a bit disingenuous, but that's the kind of experience I had with that. I enjoyed it, and I am enjoying it playing it again because I believe that's a great game to have on the go.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
That's the T-shirt I need for Timeless. For Format. Great game.
I think with this game, you can't, if you're a fan of No Man's Sky and you're thinking this is Xbox's No Man's Sky,
but with a good story, because that's obviously what's missing in No Man's Sky.
You're going to be disappointed. You've got to think of this as Fallout 4 in the Galaxy. You can't think of this as if you think of this as a No Man's Sky game. I hate to say it, you're going to be disappointed because it's not that. It's an RPG set in a space environment.
What about the planets that you land on, though? Obviously, Fallout 4, Skyrim, they had mega maps.
Yeah.
In terms of sort of square kilometre, even Oblivion had what I would call a mega map that you can get lost on. These individual planets, what sort of scale are we talking? Are we talking Fallout for each planet, or are we talking a quarter of Fallout for each planet? And what happens when you reach a map edge?
Like I say, I've only so far explored pretty much where the story has taken me, which each planet has been very different. Looks really good. The sound is very good. I've been on this sort of planet where it was more of a hot sort of lava planet. And that was really good. It sounded good from explosions of gas and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. As far as
playing on the headset or playing on,
I've tried both. And they both sound good. It's good sound in this game. But as far as I haven't explored for how far you could travel on each planet, and I think Bethesda have said that I think only 10% of planets have anything of interest on. I think that's correct. I think most of them are sort of empty, sort of barren places you can sort of walk around. So, but it does seem to me that where you go to land, you'll have your landing area, and you have another area nearby. I think you are quite restricted within that area to how much of the planet you can go on. I don't think you cannot walk all the way around that planet. You're just in that mini map on that planet.
Because as far as I'm aware, obviously this has gone down well on Xbox.
Yes.
Is it the game that Xbox gamers deserve?
Yeah, for me, I think the last 18 months has been tough if you're an Xbox only user. It's been tough. You've had Redfall, you've had games which have just not come out to expectations. They've been very thin on the ground. Is this a 10 out of 10 game? In my eyes, no. It's not a 10 out of 10 game. But if you've got Games Pass, and you've got a Series X or a Series S, this is a no-brainer. The game is there. That's a really good game. It's there for you to play now. You're gonna play it. There hasn't been a lot, and this is something which I think, yes, if you're an Xbox user, this is a game you needed.
Well, we know concurrent users is high. We know even people who are probably playing through a legacy Xbox system or their phone or whatever other device they're using to cloud game this game.
Yeah,
there's waiting times for it to get onto it. You know, that to me represents a significant sea change in the Xbox exclusive landscape, one that we've never seen before. I don't remember there being tales of people queuing to play Halo Infinite, whether it was on the cloud or not.
No, and I think
wrong for me to say, but we've talked about the narrative. Xbox need a good game. Xbox need a good game. Does this tick that box?
I think so, because there hasn't really been anything else, and it isn't anything else. So people are going to jump on this. If a game's over 60, 70%, people are going to jump all over it because it's new, it's there, and it's decent to play. So you are going to get swarms of people on this game. Like I say, is it a 10 out of 10 game? No, it's not. Not in my eyes. It's not a 10 out of 10 game, but it's a very good game. If you're, like I just said a minute ago, if you're an Xbox user, even if you've got a PS5 and an Xbox, but you want a reason to play your Xbox, you've got one. It's a no-brainer. Give it a go. It's on Games Pass. Play it. I'm enjoying it. I want to get further in it this week. I'll definitely put more hours in this game. And I think it's just really good for Xbox Games Pass subscribers to have a big world to explore and a big game to play. They've been waiting a long time, and it's nice to finally get that game.
Something for them to get lost in.
Yes, definitely.
Something to build up lore, water cooler moments. I mean, that's what spreads games.
Mm.
Can you see you at work around the UCP water cooler talking to James, the work experience, the boy, about this, or James, the work experience, the boy? I don't know what happened there to the mouth, but I didn't want to let it go.
I think so because it isn't a No Man's Sky. It is a space RPG, which there's not normally many of. So it is something to talk about. And it is something a little bit different.
So let's look at it this way: it's not No Man's Sky. It's not Elite Dangerous.
No.
But it is the strange love child of Bethesda's dirty cousin Obsidian and Fallout 4, Outer Worlds. They had a baby. A little bit of dogfighting in it, though. I mean, you talk about the dogfighting feeling hemmed in. Put that to one side. Was it rewarding to fly and play and shoot and weave?
Controlling the ship is a bit different to what you literally have these little bars in the bottom left of the screen for your engine and weapons, and your gravity drive, and you have to take some bars off to put them into another one to get that up to use it, if you know what I mean. It's a bit weird. But the actual flying of the ship itself, controls are brilliant. Really easy to use the guns to shoot at, really easy to throttle up and throttle down, really easy to use the missiles, very rewarding when you take someone out. Really enjoyed that. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting to the stage where I can get a ship and customize that ship to how I want it, add bits on, get some money. That's really intriguing to me. I'm looking forward to that. So, although it is in certain areas mini maps and hemmed in space, still good fun. Still a good experience.
Bobby, any questions for RGT on? And if you say no, I will literally crawl to New York on my eyelids and any questions? Look at him desperately now. I'll go on about asking him something. Any questions for RGT on his current Bethesda experience?
You have already asked the questions I wanted to ask.
Okay. Perfect. My eyelids are safe. I'd have a brow like Arnold Schwarzenegger's bicep, I'd imagine, if I actually crawled to New York. Swam with my eyelids, a whole bag of tricks. Okay, well, that for me is the conclusive evidence we needed that Xbox put the bar high and they cleared it and they stuck the landing as well. And I'm excited to see how this develops over time, because obviously there's a lot of secrets in Bethesda games that eke out over time, like this dungeon, that dungeon, this side story that, I glossed over that. We shouldn't have glossed over that because it opens up this massive implication. You can work for these people, you can do this, that has an implication on the end game, this, that, and the other. So as this game gets played out, and I've avoided walkthroughs, and to be honest, I've avoided quite a few reviews. Like I've seen some scores banded across my eyes, but mainly I'm waiting on listener feedback. I know a few people in the Discord are enjoying it. I saw Adam the artist was playing it. I see Roast Space Monk's probably equidistant in experience of it as you are. So yeah, I mean,
I think for me, final thoughts on it. I think for Game Pass subscribers, this is a game they needed and probably deserved for how loyal they've been paying onto Games Pass, and the games haven't been coming. But now they've got that day and date big game that's good. And I think for Xbox it's good because I think Phil Spencer and probably the Xbox team, after the first week or so of this being released, have probably gone, I've got something out there and something that people enjoy. So I think it's a win-win.
That's excellent news. And as you say, I don't say it's about time, because I've had some games but that have obviously met with different responses. Some of the games that I thought would be big hits, like Grounded, kind of have been lost a little bit, and that was Obsidian slogging the guts out, making an open world crafting game. You would have thought that would have been well received, but although it was well received, it didn't stick the landing. And again, Redfall, I don't know really what makes a good or a bad game anymore, but if you're into that sort of team-based shooting mechanic, you would have thought that would be everyone's cup of tea, but it didn't stick the landing.
No.
Same with Halo Infinite. Great big tentpole title, the face of Xbox. Maybe less so these days, but certainly the most recognizable brand on there, Halo Infinite. Not a bad game, but it didn't stick the landing. Whereas I feel Starfield has come out and it's stuck the landing. And, you know, no disrespect, but I'm sure a lot of Xbox gamers are a little bit bored of playing Forza. At least they've got something new to play.
Yeah, and it gives Xbox a bit of breathing space. They've got a game now which is big. This still is a big game. I know I've said about the mini maps and you're hemmed in. It is a big game. People are going to be playing it for a long time. With the openness of the modern scene coming along, there's longevity in this game. It gives them a bit of breathing space to get, you know, you've got Forza Motorsport coming out. They can get on a bit of a run now, start getting some games out.
Well, it's a pony you can saddle up and ride into the Christmas sales.
Yes. So it's good for them, and it's good for them now to start getting these games on a run now and start getting some big games on that Games Pass.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for the detailed review. Bobby, any more thoughts before I beckon the man up the drive?
No.
Okay. We love him for it.
Oh, he's a legend. Absolute legend.
Okay. Well, at that point, let's beckon him up. Oh, hang on a minute. Bit of a disaster. Last time we saw Ray, I said that he busted through the gate and he fixed it with a pair of cable ties and some bungee straps. He drove the Bluebird straight into it and it catapulted him halfway up Hall Drive. And he's taken a run up this time. He's through it. It's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingray's boot, what's nestled between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy copy of Battlefriend all this week. These are the new release highlights for the week September 10th to September 16th, 2023. Listeners, these are out in digital, physical, or will be by the time this podcast in your feed, but could be region dependent. I've got an admission.
Uh-oh.
I know you guys are sticklers for details, and you may have noticed that the scripts look a little bit different.
Yes.
I bought a...
Oh, you ain't done it on a Switch, have you?
Just it's Switch-related story.
Oh, no.
Stingray, just calm down for a moment, all right? Just take a suck on your Lambert and get ready for this. I bought with the Switch 128 gigabyte memory card, which I pretty much nearly filled pretty quickly. I then bought a half gig one off the internet, and I thought, I know what I'll do. I've read online, I can just quickly swap these about. I didn't really take for granted how big 128 gig is, nor did I take for granted how much I'd filled it. So when I went to move it from the memory card to the desktop of the UCP 486, there wasn't enough gigabytes spare. So I had to go on a bit of a deleting run. And I didn't realize that the scripts, the holy relics of the show, got deleted. I didn't realize. I thought they were safe, tucked away in a folder, but because of the way the live desktop works, they got sucked into the cloud. I deleted them from the cloud. So these aren't the original scripts anymore, guys. These are tributes.
So lost forever. That's the problem with digital games.
Unless at some point in time I sent Bobby a Pages version of the script back in the New York days when we were living there. And
I will forward it to you.
And he is now the sole proprietor of UCP history. He is the only person with a living legacy, a link to the OG days. With all that said and done, another dirty Switch admission story. They don't stop coming, if I'm honest with you, and I'm starting to feel...
It's taken over your life. It's ruining your computer. I mean, your PlayStation. I mean, what's PlayStation anymore? They're gone.
Who are they?
I mean, yeah, who are they? They're all crying up in the loft.
You switched on.
Yeah. PS3 committed suicide. I mean, dear me.
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah. You're sitting there in your Mario hat and your Mario and Luigi cravat. And
I've made some pants out of the tote bag. I bought a couple of Mario tote bags from my Switch points, and I've fashioned them. This is the episode where we talked about pants. Anyway, I'm looking at the Ray and his diminutive child, Wayne. And this week I'm seeing Ray. He's in a full-on NASA replica suit, but where his face should be, in the helmet, it's basically his head's not there. It's full of water. And him and Wayne are goldfish in Sting's helmet.
Wow.
Not that helmet, the space helmet.
Same again. Wow.
That's how I'm seeing him. Bobby, how are you seeing Sting this week?
So they are in a shopping cart. At the bottom of the shopping cart there's no bottom. It's just the wheels. And he is sitting in there with a pair of gray sweatpants. His feet have extreme calloused from, I guess, running the shopping cart, Flintstone style. And Wayne is sitting in the little baby chair with a little RC remote control car that is actually driving this thing around. And around the shopping cart is several bags. And each bag has a logo or a bootleg logo of what is inside, what you can expect to be inside, like a PlayStation or an Xbox or Nintendo, all the way around. And they both have no shirt on, and they are both vaping.
I'm not sure if I'm dreaming right now.
I have to tell you something else.
Oh, wow.
This is not an imagination. This is something I've actually seen this week.
You've seen a child vaping in a shopping cart?
With a grown man in the bottom of the shopping cart, moving it with his feet.
Are you sure you saw this, Bobby?
I am dead serious.
You did not see this.
I did. And I have about 20 other co-workers who can verify.
Some parts of New York are like a third world country, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's one of the oddest
Absolutely.
parts of New York for me. My New York experience was one of like gilded mansions, mega story buildings, and then some of the weirdest, most oddest stuff that you would just not expect to see in what people would arguably say is probably one of the most advanced civilization collections on Earth.
It's quite interesting.
Wow. Okay. RGT, I'm all in. Top that.
He's always on point with me. So Stingray is actually dressed as my character out of Starfield perfectly. He's got every detail of the suit, the badges. The visor flips up. He's got the hair right. He looks phenomenal.
What did you call your character in Starfield? And Dave Mallard is the only answer I'm going to accept.
Dave Mallard?
What is he really called?
Dave Mallard.
Okay.
He is. Anyway, Wayne, as usual, the memo's got a bit muddled up. So he's come as Fox McCloud from Starlink. I think he's got the wrong... Yeah, he's in this sort of cheap Audi kids dress-up suit that looks like a half-run-over fox in a bit of a space suit. And he's got Starlink merchandise everywhere. I mean, who would collect Starlink merchandise? I mean, come on.
I don't know. I can't imagine. I mean, people are all going to think it's me now that's been collecting this tap, but I think you need to maybe...
I mean, I know some people say that is the premiere of space travel games, but I mean, yeah, so he's not quite up to his dad's standards at the minute, but I will give him 5 out of 10 for effort. You're right, George.
I like to think, mate, I've basically got a cup of my own spit to sip at now because I like...
What's that?
Oh, my. I like to...
What's the problem?
I like to think we're the only gaming news show that would use Starlink as a direct comparison to Starfield. No one else is doing that. Straight first out of the boot, Halmer, a detective noir story, September 11th. Halmer is a dedication. No, it's not.
No.
Halmer is a deduction visual novel set in Munich. Discover a conspiracy against the upper echelons of society alongside former detective Judith while visiting real locations in a comic-inspired look.
I like the sound of that.
Sound interesting.
Eterna Nights, PC, PS5, PS4, September 12th. Eterna Nights is a dating action game where you try to make the most out of life during the apocalypse. Monday, go on a date. Tuesday, clear dungeon. Friday, freak out. The clock is ticking. That's two genres I didn't think would be put together.
Exactly. Up next is the Isle Tide Hotel. PS5, PC, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch.
Great game to
September
take on
12th.
the go, this, Bobby, I think.
Oh yeah. Explore mysterious hotel and infiltrate a cult in this FMV detective game featuring a cast from Game of Thrones, The Witcher, and more. Every decision counts as you gather clues and question guests. Can you unearth the ominous secrets of the Isle Tide Hotel before it's too late to save your missing daughter? Sounds good.
FMV as well, yeah. That's
I know.
from
That
the
might
Mega
actually be
CD
my
era.
mummy. This next one, it looks like, I'll be honest, it looks like Sting's had a moment here because there's a game here, Heretics Fork on PC, but it looks like he's boxed it up as Naraka Blade Point, a 60-player PvP from about 3 years ago. Shows you what's going on with the scripts. But more importantly, I'm going to pull this out. Super Bomberman R2 on the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. If you're wondering, this is a great game to take on the go. It's also on Nintendo platform, Switch, Super Nintendo, and NES. September 13th, the latest title of the party game series, Super Bomberman R, with new adventures and game modes. It's the largest content volume in the series history.
Oh, some good games this month, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Right, next up, we have Ad Infinitum.
I would. Infinitum.
Infinitum. That is a strange name. In Ad Infinitum, you play as a German soldier haunted by the horrors of the Great War, while your mind grapples with memories of your family home and the trenches on the front. You try to break the endless cycle of suffering.
Ad infinitum means to go on and on and on. So this endless cycle of suffering is quite a good name.
Oh yeah,
quite a good name indeed.
Sounds interesting, actually.
Probably should
Up
be
next,
My Mummy, but I can't take it on the go. So.
In a game I cannot pronounce at all.
I would say this is AK Occital.
Occital. That's amazing.
That's like you just leant on the keyboard when you type the script.
Oxalotl. What are those little things that you get, the South American sort of little fish newt things that are kind of demonstration of like human evolution? Axolotl. So is this AK Axolotl? Probably yes.
Very interesting. I like it. It's for all the systems. September 14th. It's AK Axolotl is the ultimate top-down roguelike shooter, starring the most adorable amphibian. You nailed it. You nailed it right there. You are an axolotl armed with an AK that embarks on an epic rampage, shooting down anything that stands in their way.
This is a little bit like Vampire Survivors, or it's a little bit like boil him, mash him, put him in a stew. Not this potato, it's brotator, baby.
Pretty odd.
Okay. I might add, this is probably a perfect game to take on the go.
Yeah, sounds like a good game on the go. Exactly.
You pair of scoundrels. Up next, Crew Motorfest, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. You know, the lower standard of console. September 14th, a beautiful new playground to explore iconic cars from the past, present, and future. Discover the incredible diversity of vehicles and experiences featured in the Crew trademark Motorfest.
Next up, we've got Heavy Duty Challenge, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, September 14th. Heavy Duty Challenge is an open-world off-road truck simulator developed by Nano Games. Players will be able to drive licensed trucks and explore an immersive open world or compete in challenges inspired by real-world off-road truck trials. That sounds quite good. I might even have to do that as my mama.
Is it me next or is it Bobby?
It's Sugar Shack for PC, September 14th. Grab some friends, fire up the boiler, and let the syrup flow. Build the world around your cabin as you fulfill orders of hungry, villagers with endless sweet tooths. There's never a dull moment in this cozy forest inspired by Quebec lore and art. Another Canada game.
Canada.
Canada.
Heavy Duty Challenge. RGT.
I've read that already.
I know, but I'm just looking at the trailer. I watched it earlier and I'm watching it again and I'm like, this is...
Have I got to retract my mama?
This is a real piece of us.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I'll reinstate my mama.
The only downside I'm seeing so far is the actual kings of off-road driving, and this is as genuine as I can say, would be Iveco, and I'm not seeing any Ivecos in there.
I wondered why you say Iveco.
Well, probably because they've got their own defense division. They've got their own. They've got, they've won the Paris-Dakar more times than you've had hot dinners.
Well, you know a lot about Iveco, don't you?
Truck racing specialists win every season. They know how to put together a serious off-road competing vehicle. They've also
anyone would think you work for. Funny, eh?
Don't say that. That's not okay. It's probably one of the biggest secrets in gaming media.
What? No, I just said. I didn't say it was a secret.
Now I'm watching someone unbox a Star Wars watch. That's the YouTube algorithm for you.
Yeah.
Boaty Bikeland Overclocked on the PC September 15th. Boaty Bikeland Overclocked combines classic 3D platforming with a splash of innovation. Double jump, dash, hover, and glide through vibrant levels, discovering fantastic combos inspired by the very essence of computers and technology. If you wanted some ASMR to get you to sleep, it was that.
Of all these games, Ad Infinitum looks pretty dope.
Is that your mummy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was Isle Tide Hotel. RGT's, yours was Heavy Duty Challenge or no?
Or stuck between those two, but I think I'll go Heavy Duty Challenge, yeah.
Okay. Awaiting the Italian DLC for that bad boy before I go all in. Okay. Before we let Ray disappear down the drive on his good route home after a hard day's slog, feed Wayne his alphabetic spaghetti and all that good stuff that is Wayne's natural diet.
Alphabetic spaghetti.
That's the best. What are you taking as your VHS mummy?
Is that me?
Yes, you, sir.
I am going to go for the Cannonball Run. Need to see that again.
Is Cannonball Run better or worse than Smokey and the Bandit? Because I'm going to say worse.
Oof. Cool, I don't know. Yeah. I'd probably say worse. I preferred, I think, Smokey and the Bandit, but I haven't seen Cannonball Run for ages, so I'm definitely going to put that in the old Betamax this week.
Bobby, what's your VHS mummy pick, my friend?
I'm going to get the entire collection of MacGyver.
Wow.
If Ray next week isn't sort of escaping from something made out of
and
straws.
Last week I was upset because I got the Nano 2.0 collection. And I need to get the other 3 discs that are missing. A naughty DVD was in one of the discs.
Oh.
Not sure if that was Wayne or not, but that's not nice.
Well,
no.
I've reached round Ray into the Stingray mobile. Yeah, exactly. And pulled out his rental book, his little sort of notepad. It's where he keeps records of who he's lent things to or not. And it looks like the previous renter of 90210 was Mr. and Mrs. RGT.
I knew this was coming. The
previous renter to that was Mr. and Mrs. Digital Monkery. So somewhere between those two couples.
There is, yeah.
3 of the discs
not
have gone missing. One of them was replaced with a Naughty Naughty.
It was a classic Naughty Naughty. Not complaining about it. Just was a little bit awkward when I put it in.
There wasn't a guy in a postman's uniform, was there?
Only Bobby can know. I don't know what the title of it was, but you know.
The postman knocks 5 times.
Oh, yeah. Do you mind sending that back, Bobby? Or
Copy that.
yeah,
And then when you're done with it, I'll put it back in my collection.
yeah, no problems.
Fine. Okay. What's mine? I'm gonna take a copy of Cities of Gold,
Oh,
the classic
that?
80s cartoon.
yeah.
It's an 80s cartoon based around the Spanish Inca
Great theme
era.
song too.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's why I picked it.
Oh,
And these two kids unlock these magical sort of devices made by the Incas. There's like a flying condor. There's a ship that can like activate these gold sails, which moves it through the water.
yeah.
Still to this day, I'm sure an episode where the condor and the boat joined, but maybe it was a childhood fever dream when I had mumps or something. I don't even know. But with all that said and done, the ray's gone, and all I see on the floor is a space ration pack for alphabetic spaghetti, and the postman knocks 5 times. Add water and hope for the best.
Yeah.
With that, this has been probably the most fever dream-like episode. And I'll be honest with you, I still don't know what's actually going on. But what I do know is I feel safe in the show's environment because the roadmap, which takes us from one thing to the other, means that I only need to ask you, gentlemen, what you're hoping to play. Bobby, let's start with you. I'd imagine it's a 2-word answer. But you may
Correct.
what are you hoping to play?
Diablo 4. Several more hours of that today and over the week, and probably right into the next show. Right into the next show.
Fair play to you. I'll tell you one thing about you, Bobby, is when you commit,
Yep, you're a dedicated man.
you never let go. There's
I'm
only 2 times.
I'm committed to you guys.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
And by us, through you, listener, he's committed to you.
That's right.
RGT, what are you hoping to play?
more Starfield. Get carrying on with my story on there. Gonna have another night this week on GTA 3 with Bull Border. Can't wait to play that. That's fantastic revisiting that. I'll probably keep dabbling in with Rotator again, I suppose. See if I'm come so close to getting wave 20. I'll keep getting wave 19 and dying, which is frustrating, but makes me want to play more. Might be able to, if I get time, dip into some more Sea of Stars, and maybe some more Saints Row. Oh, and also Generation Zero Online. I shall be dipping in that again because that was great fun.
Starfield's dead to you already?
No. Starfield. I shall be playing Starfield. But
I mean, I need, to be honest, from a showrunner point of view, if that's even my title anymore, I don't even know. I need you to have that finished by next week.
Yeah, well, that ain't happening, but I shall put some more hours in.
Put your back out and call in. I'll give you the afternoon off.
You're just waiting for the Switch version.
I mean, I'm not being funny. That'd be a great game to take on the go.
Well, I know Starlink is. I mean, maybe you should look at that as that is the premier space travel game.
No, stop this now. You're never going to make this popular, no matter how hard you try.
No, I'm not. No. I mean, that's the same.
Okay. There's more chance of me buying the Constellation edition of Starfield. And
I mean, who would be playing Starlink at the minute? I mean,
that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
It's the most egregious thing I've ever seen.
All them silly little toys and that you get with it. I mean, who would be playing that? I mean,
wow. You had this planned, clearly.
The weird thing is, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't know whether to go all in on Starfield because it would be a collection I could see Starlink done quite quickly, I'd imagine. If I bring the Ponsonbury credit card to bear on eBay, one imagines you'd walk out with every bit of tat that game ever had.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, and I keep fighting it, I've been to rehab 6 times about this bad boy, and I still don't think I'm clean. the biggest thing that's drawing me in at the moment and occupying my time is Switch Steelbooks.
Oh, dear.
They're
That is
so
a rabbit
small.
hole.
They're cute. They're everything.
I suppose the cabinet of PlayStation Steelbooks will be cleared out. They'll be in a bin bag in the loft. Suddenly there'll be Tears of the Kingdom Steelbook, Mario Steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. More,
Definitely.
more for the PlayStations to cuddle up to.
Let me ask you this
me
question.
In a loft.
This is the weird place my world exists in. When I brought you to Ponsonbury Manor barely 2 weeks ago, maybe more, it feels time and space has lost all relevance. Where was my Switch collection?
Well, your cartridges are all in a little question mark block, which you proudly shew me how it opened up like Optimus Prime.
I have 2 of those now.
Doesn't surprise me. And then shew me your very, very nice Mario tote bag that you'd proudly got with your...
Skip to the chase. Where was my Switch collection?
It was... I can't remember. Was it in a box? You put it in a box? I can't remember.
It was in a Mario bag hidden in my mob wardrobe.
So Mumsy don't find what you've been spending your paper round money on.
I just don't know where I put this. I just have run out of places to put this stuff. And I just thought, you know what? I don't need this sitting on a shelf, making me feel like I need more to fill that gap up on the shelf. I'm going to put them in a Mario bag.
That won't be long.
Yeah, well, they don't all fit in the bag anymore.
Oh, dear.
Because I actually picked up secondhand a copy of 2 Point Campus, and it came in this really cool collector's case.
How many? Can I just ask before we finish the show? How many games have you got now? Because I've got a funny feeling you've gone a bit mad on this. How many games have you picked up physically now? Be honest. Oh dear.
I don't like.
How much have you spent?
I don't like the way this is going.
How many games?
Let me just put some parenthesis in here. I've really enjoyed collecting for a new system. Right. I've really enjoyed getting. How many? I've really enjoyed thinking this would be a great game to take on the go.
How many?
George.
How many have you bought?
George.
You've only been into the Switch, what, a month?
Digital or physical?
Both.
Physical. Well, do physical first, then do both. How many physical copies of Switch games have you bought?
Do we do this on air? Do you want me to go count them? Let me go get them.
Go and get them, because I reckon you know what he's like, Bobby. He goes all in. He goes all in.
He bought.
Boy, let's have a guess each.
Okay, I'm gonna say he bought about 25 games.
I reckon more. I reckon he's at 35. I reckon.
Damn, you think so?
Yeah, he's only been in it. He's only been in it into the Switch for about a month.
That's crazy.
Here we go. Let's see.
I hear him. I hear it.
Here he comes.
Oh, here we go.
He looks embarrassed.
A little bit.
It's awkward. It's just awkward.
We've had a guess each. So
we had a guess.
Closest.
Okay, don't tell me anything yet then. Let's see. So in this one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If we had an HR manager, which I hadn't made you, RGT, I'd be looking at bullying right now.
Stop making excuses and count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So you've got 26 physical games, have you?
Yeah.
Bobby wins. He said 25.
Good lad.
I said 35.
But how many altogether?
What's digital?
Yeah, just in the memory. Over or under 15?
Under. I've got MLB 23. I've got Witcher 3. I've got Outer Worlds. I've got the Ezio collection. Vampire Survivor.
Rotator.
I ain't got Rotator yet.
I thought you had that.
I've got Farming Tycoon. I've got This War Is Mine.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Assassin's Creed Rogue Collection.
Is that technically 3 games?
No. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
Did you get the Jedi Academy? Or was that physical?
That's physical.
Okay.
So that's 36 games.
So, in a way, we're both correct.
And over,
We
over
both
what-
hit it. I said 25, you had 26.
And how much tat have you bought?
Apart from these really cool Mario ? Game cases, so I can carry my shame around in a little man bag on my shoulder.
Totally.
My whole setup. So I can go anywhere, and I've got my whole library ready to go. No messing about on the system. I've got a couple of docks, one here, one there, and I've got my handheld option.
Your case. Little case for you. Got your new Pro controller. You've got your new.
Do you have the
icons.
Switch Scent for the car mirror?
I've got the car mirror, the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I like finding something new to collect for, and I've enjoyed collecting for it. I'm enjoying collecting for it. I don't think it's over yet.
As long as you're happy, bro, we're happy.
I realised that I've got Arkham Trilogy on pre-order. I've got Mario Wonder on pre-order, and I've got physical Red Dead Redemption on pre-order.
Which is quite impressive when you've sort of got into the Switch about 6 weeks ago, months, 6 weeks?
3 days ago.
Yeah, that's quite the haul.
I've been smart, been clever. I've shopped about, put my nose on the ground. I've watched lots of.
I think it's wonderful, to be honest. I know.
I've watched lots of. What I like is I've watched loads of top 10 must-have videos. People's like top 10s, hidden gems. I've done like eShop videos on YouTube. I've done like why owning a Switch in 2023 is good. My solo episode coming up at some point in time in the future will be entitled that, I think.
Switched Up is a brilliant YouTube channel.
And I enjoy their show.
They're brilliant. Brilliant. They are very good. I found a lot of games through them.
The holy trinity of gaming websites, Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Inside Nintendo or Nintendo Life, whatever it's called.
Nintendo Life, yeah, is good.
Yeah, the holy trinity. Such great websites. I'm on all of them all the time, in the forums, whatever. I don't care. This is an admission from me. If you're in there, you're on there. You're on there. You're doing it. But no, Switch has been a mere revelation. I like it, and actually, it's taken me back to my sort of teen life, really, of just playing these rather charming little games. Are we done now? Because that's been probably one of the more painful experiences that I've ever shared on the show.
We will never mention your Switch obsession anymore.
A little bit like the Discord, you had to say it, didn't you? By not saying it, he said it. Gentlemen, before I dive off red-faced and ashamed for what's become an issue for me.
It's like treatment for you. Think of it as like treatment.
My family aren't eating, really. So I blame you, and Adam the artist was involved in this. So, you're implicated. Is there anything else you want to share with us? Bobby, you got anything coming up on the old Instagram page? Why don't you share the location and where people can find you? Because they need to get following you so they can get ready for the Spook Fest.
So it's _Chronicles_of_a_gamer. I like spaces, and you can't do that on Instagram. So that's that. And also last night I watched Super Mario Brothers movie. Amazing.
I need to get that. I
thought it was absolutely amazing.
One thing I've got to RGT, just quiet for a moment. Do you guys remember, you were OG, do you remember a guy called Sensei Rios, who was like one of the early listeners of the show in Season 1, got himself immortalized as like the Kung Fu expert in the village?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've noticed that he changed his name to like Lone Wolf or whatever it was, and his latest name change is Handsome Rob 07.
That's impossible.
Why? Is that who you are?
I'm Handsome Rob 7.
Have a little look-see. You've got yourself a number one fan there, Bobby. Big listener
On
of the
Instagram?
show. Yeah. Handsome Rob, and then see who else comes up. And it's our man, Sensei Rios.
Handsome Rob. 07?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's Rob. Wow, what the hell?
I'm your number one fan.
Bless him. He's been with us every step of the way. He's obviously pinpointed a fan favourite, Bobby, and he's dedicated his life to being your number one fan. So thank you again.
Thank you.
RGT, do you have anything more to impart before you disappear? You ought to follow him, Bobby, really. Set his mind ablaze.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll just Digital Monkery, well done for the comment of the month for August. I will contact you with your choice of prize.
Mr. Digital Monkery don't come alone. Every single time he brings Mrs. Digital Monkery selection. Oh no.
Anyway,
what I was trying to say is, before my mind ran away with itself there, is that they always support us on the show. So when you do the prize, make sure it's not just for him. Make sure it's for both of them and the family. Is what I was trying to say before you went all pervy on me.
I did not do anything of the sort, but I will be contacting you anyway for your choice of prize. So I'll let you know this week.
Make sure it's get the Mario tote bag, and that's a family prize.
Yeah.
It's a good bag to take on the go, is what I like to say.
God.
We gotta get their shirt. We gotta get shirts made. We gotta get shirts made.
Yeah, great.
We need merch, bro, and that's merch.
Bada Binkster's sort of couched out. He's got so much stuff going on.
I would love to get a, I don't know, pink or yellow type shirt with the original logo right here on the chest. Handsome Rob 7 in the back.
Oh, like
you get a George
yellow
shirt
tie-dye
on the go.
Not a team shirt. We need to get a football shirt
on the go. I'm down, bro.
On the
go.
Sponsored by Stingray.
Then we can have a shirt with a little thing coming out. It's like RGT's head, hidden gems.
I wonder.
Oh no.
Little popping out. Hey, here I am.
Where's he going with this?
And then maybe the gems fall to the back and it goes around the shirt and there's some random games.
Perfect.
I like it.
In order as well.
In order of the wow.
Of each week I've done them.
Okay. With that said and done, let's give the listeners their time back. And that's all we have time for this week. Listeners, always thank you for your time. I look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming. Remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do with it that counts. See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.